So here's an interesting story. Pharmaceutical companies have spent billions creating drugs to treat Alzheimer's. It turns out those drugs don't actually work. They're based on a false premise. But one drug that does appear very promising in the fight against Alzheimer's is never discussed. Why is that? We'll tell you after the break. If you're going to design a disease to hurt people, degrade people, stress families out, really make life very sad, it would be Alzheimer's probably. And so there's a big push to try and cure Alzheimer's or prevent it. So drug companies keep coming up with drugs to do that. Billions have been spent on it, but those drugs don't work. You got to wonder why. To give just one example, the FDA recently approved Biogen's Alzheimer's drug, even though the FDA's own advisory committee voted 10-0 to reject that drug. But there is a promising approach to Alzheimer's, apparently. According to researchers at the Cleveland Clinic, Viagra might be a very effective treatment for the disease, but you never hear that. Why is that exactly? Dr. Mark Siegel joins us tonight to assess. Doctor, thanks so much for coming on. So you announced on this show the results of that study, which were just, I thought, remarkable. As a non-doctor, I thought this was incredible. Cutting the risk of Alzheimer's by 69%. That was the last I ever heard of Alzheimer's as a prophylactic against, or Viagra against Alzheimer's. Why?
Well, you just said it. First of all, Alzheimer's is affecting over 40 million people around the world, and none of these treatments that are being studied and marketed and a lot of money spent work at all. And they devastate not just 6 million people in the United States, but families, devastating families.
That's right.
And Tucker, I did announce on the show that study from Aging Nature. Over 7 million men were studied, and they found a 69% decrease in Alzheimer's over just 6 years. And even more importantly, they showed improved brain growth and less gunking up of the brain with neurofibrillatory tangles. It's dramatic. It works. And the fact is, the reason it works, and this is the most important thing, it works because the way Viagra or sildenafil works is that it relaxes smooth muscle that lines blood vessels, so it improves blood flow. Blood flow to every area of the body. And I think I know what you're getting at, which is it's a billion-dollar industry for one reason. Just one reason. But you know what? It works for multiple reasons. And it doesn't just work in men, Tucker. You asked me that question before I came on. It works in women as well as men. It decreases altitude sickness in women. It decreases lung problems, pulmonary hypertension in women. And I guarantee you, if this was studied in women as well, you would find that it decreases the risk of Alzheimer's. Why? It improves blood flow to the brain. It improves brain cells. And it's definitely a positive impact. And it should be out there now. It should be used right now for both men and women. We need further studies on this, but it's a hugely promising drug. Very disappointing that since this study came out a few months ago, there's been no progress. We need progress now.
Well, exactly. I mean, cheap. The results seem, from my perspective, almost miraculous. I appreciate all that information.